would like to talk about something near and dear to my heart and something that I practice every time I'm in the garden, every day. It doesn't matter how little or how long the project, this is something I do every time I'm in the garden. We're talking about covering and protecting your skin from not only sun damage, but all kinds of menacing insects, particularly mosquitoes as we go into the summer months. I live in Georgia, and that is the southern region. It gets very hot here sometimes, and that sun can be sweltering and a menace to your flesh, as can the mosquitoes. They really can get out of hand. Please keep in mind, again, this is a cap. 1 cap of water is all it takes to have a problem of epic proportions with mosquitoes. We're talking about this much water, you can have thousands of mosquitoes. I try to do mosquito maintenance around my property, but if you have neighbors that do not do that, such as they let ground ivy go out of control, or they have lots of junk around their property and it accumulates lots of water, there's only so much you can do to your property, but if they're not on board, you're going to have an issue. This is the case where I live. So I try to maintain a mosquito-free environment, but I still get plumes and wafts of mosquitoes coming from my neighbors. So what I do to combat that is I protect my skin. And this also helps with protecting your skin from the sun. Last thing I want as a lady also is to have a really bad ombre effect of farmer's tan to here, to here, to here. So covering your skin will help that, especially when it's the summertime and you want to go out or wear a pretty dress. There's nothing worse than having like the farmer's tan here to here and then going out on the town. So to also prevent that, this is a really great technique. What I have here is a long sleeve shirt, very sheer. I picked this up at a thrift store. What I basically do is, before I put the shirt on, I'll use something like this Cutter Backwoods stuff. It's pretty effective. There's some other brands out there that are just as effective or better. This is what I had on hand, so this is what I'm using today. I'll take this and I'll lightly actually spray this shirt before I put it on, and it'll have a kiss of moisture to it, but after a couple minutes it'll dry, and then I'll put the shirt on. Yes, you were seeing right. I am buttoning it all the way up from that top button all the way down to the last button. I want to protect every bit of my skin as much as possible. So the other thing you can do is this shirt actually has a button at the sleeve, so you can work like this with your glove on. And gloves I'll talk about in another video. I have several different types of gloves that I use for different things. Obviously, if you're working on weeding an area where you know there's poison ivy present, this technique is not going to be good, because if you accidentally brush up against that poison ivy, you're going to have a bad time. If this is in my way, I will put my sleeves up like this, and I wear my gloves. And again, the shirt's been sprayed with the bug spray. If I find the bugs are still around me, I'll take the bug spray and lightly mist my arms. Next up, and one of my favorite things is, this is like a head sock of sorts. I'm not sure what the actual technical term is. So what I do is, take off my glasses for this one. I basically slip one of these over my head. I have 2 of them. Sometimes I wear one around my neck, or a really light scarf, like a mummy wrap sheer material like this, to protect my skin also around my neck. But I like to use these because it keeps all of my hair, and I stuff all my hair in there. And then I'll take a hair tie or something, and I'll just kind of tie it off. And the reason I do this is because if you feel something crawling up the back of your neck, you know that it's not one of your hairs. It's probably an insect. And then, in which case, try to stay as calm as possible, because if it's a spider or something, you want to make sure that you get it off without it biting you, or that you can identify what it is before you either throw it away or kill it or what have you, just in case it does bite you, so you know how to plan accordingly. So now we have the head sock on. My hair is secured, it's all in here. I don't have to worry about it touching my neck. I won't get hot spots or irritation on my neck from my hair, or sweat or anything, and I'm protected from bugs. And if you wanted to, you could probably spray this a little bit with a insect repellent if you wanted. The next layer you want to put on is a hat. I absolutely love this hat. This is probably the 5th one of these that I've purchased. This hat brand I discovered on a trip around Georgia. I will put this in the link. There is a place called Tallulah Gorge, If you've never been there, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a really great place, and there's lots of little eateries and this old-timey hardware shop, general store that's got glass bottle Cokes and fun little candies from your youth and this kind of thing. And last time I was in there, they had these hats on the rack. Now, they were between $30 and $40 per hat. You could probably find it online cheaper, but this hat is worth every single penny, and anytime I see one, I buy one. And I'll provide a link to the brand for you. It's called Tula, and they're from Austin, Texas. This hat is fantastic. I will put my hair up in there. Now I look like a couple music producers. So you've got this great little device here so you can affix it to your head firmly if that's your preference, or depending on what you're doing, or you can just let it go free. I tend to secure it in place because I move around a lot. I use my gardening time also as my exercise time, so I tend to move around a little bit. Now that you've got your hat on, you've got some sun protection, you've got your hair covered, next is the sunglasses. This is absolutely essential. For me, I have to wear these every day, all the time. Even if I'm wearing 6-inch heels and a dress and going out on the town, I have to wear these solar shields. They protect your glasses. They fit right over them. I do not have prescription sunglasses. It's not really practical for my lifestyle, and I can get these. These are solar shields. They cost me between $20 and $25. Unfortunately, I don't know the size or what the model number is, because I would love to get a couple pairs of these. They have been invaluable to my daily use in the garden and beyond. And like I said, they fit right over my regular glasses. I get plenty of coverage, and they're really nice and dark. And it's also kind of like a safety glasses in a sense, because when I start other projects outdoors, such as doing things with cement, or if you're watering and you're giving some fertilizers and stuff, and especially with pokeweed, which I have a real big problem with here on this property. When you go to cut a pokeweed, they can tend to splatter their juices inside, and they have sort of a toxic effect depending on the size. So this is just another great way to protect and cover your eyes. So one other thing I'd like to mention is remember to tuck in your shirt. Have some shirt that it tucks into your pants so you have additional coverage all the way around the midsection here. This is a common place for ticks and mosquitoes to go to. So make sure that you have this area completely covered, and if you need to wear a belt, wear a belt. These pants unfortunately are a little big on me now, so you want to make sure that you have something to give you complete coverage, and probably shouldn't have any holes in your shirt because you don't want an insect getting in there and giving you a bad time. So, to recap, sunglasses that offer complete coverage over your regular prescription glasses, a nice big hat. I do have several other hats, some that have even longer brims, which I'll cover in other videos. Great to have a big old hat, and some kind of head sock of some kind to protect your hair and your skin and to keep insects from getting where they don't belong. And of course the long sleeve shirt that's been lightly misted with some sort of insect repellent is essential. And this is what I do on a daily basis to have healthy, great skin while I'm out in the garden, to protect me from the elements and the insects. And again, I cannot reiterate enough, make sure you drink plenty of water. Drinking some sodas and these kinds of things, while they may be refreshing and absolutely delicious, it might be better to just stick to water. And if you're craving calories or something, go make a sandwich or pick some fresh squash from your garden and take some time for yourself and make a really tasty meal. Again, make sure that you eat something and that you stay hydrated. When I get fatigued, some days I will start gardening and I am so tired I don't know how I'm going to be able to get my projects done for the day. And I find that if I take like a 15 or 20 minute break, I get out of the sunshine and I drink some water or maybe eat a little something, I do feel a lot better, and then I can get back to what I'm doing. So as far as footwear is concerned, that's something that I will cover in another video, but I will tell you for now to wear whatever you're comfortable in, and full coverage is probably best because you never know if there's going to be poison ivy or anthills around. Happy gardening, have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to subscribe, and please share any questions or comments you may have, and I'll see you next time.